Welcome to Cooking Wild with Kels. Tonight we're going to be doing some elk meat fajitas. And my version of Spanish rice. So we're going to cut across the grain of your elk meat for a much more tender meat. So you're just going to take, I'm using a fillet knife because it's the sharpest one I have right now. So you're just going to cut across that into small strips. And I like to go across it all the way across the chunk of meat. And then if I want smaller pieces, I can cut them smaller after I get it split apart from the large chunk. So you'll end up with strips about that thick. I might cut these in half a little bit more to make them smaller, but you just start by getting it off the main chunk of meat first. So now that I have my elk meat cut up into fajita strips, I'm going to start on my veggies. Today I am using green peppers and red peppers as well as some yellow onion. And I'm going to cut those into reasonable sizes. I'm not going to dice them up because, well, they're fajitas. And then while this pan heats up, and then I will throw in my elk meat and get it going and then add my veggies. So now that our pan is up to temperature, we're going to put in our elk meat strips. And today I'm using the Mexican Fiesta seasoning, and I'm also using Mrs. Dash Southwest chipotle seasoning to season my meat. I was trying to use my new fancy tongs, but they're not a fan of me, I guess. So now I'm going to add in my seasoning. This is all to taste, whatever you and your family would prefer. Just the two of us, so we can go a little bit spicier tonight. Alright, now that the meat is starting to brown, I'm going to add in my onions and my peppers. Work them down into that juice so they can get flavor as well. So I will catch back with you when I start my Spanish rice. So now I'm going to start my Spanish rice. For the measurements that I need is 2 cups of rice, 3 cups of water. I added some of the Mrs. Dash seasoning that I used on the meat, as well as some of the Fiesta Mexican seasoning, and I'm going to put that into my pot. I also did add a little bit of chicken broth in there just to give it some extra taste. So I'm going to wait till that gets to a little bit of a boil, and then I'm going to add in my rice and a little bit of some tomato sauce. So now that my water has started to a rolling boil, I'm going to add in my rice. I am also using some leftover spaghetti sauce that I have in the fridge. I did not have the tomato paste like it called for, so you just want to add a little bit in to your, I'm just going to use this as like a measuring spoon. Add about that much to it, just to give it some extra flavor. So now that I've added in my rice, I'm going to give it just like a minute or so, and then I turn it off, grab my lid, and put it on top to let it settle. Alright, so we have our fajita strips and stuff done. We have our rice done. So we're heating up a small cast iron for our small tortillas to heat them up and make them nice and soft. While that's working, I'm going to cut up some of my veggies to make a small Pico de Gallo. This is some garnish for our fajitas. So I used a full head of cilantro, and this is just a little bit that I took off to, like I said, garnish that. So in the small Pico de Gallo I make, it's a pretty simple one, but it tastes pretty darn good. So I'm just, like I said, a bushel of cilantro. I think I'm only going to do about a half of this onion diced up, and I'm going to do a full tomato. And then David loves jalapenos. I can only handle so much spice, so David's going to do his 2 jalapenos. And then on the side, I'm going to have my avocado for my fajitas. So I will get back to you after we are done. So one portion that I forgot to add in was that I do use lime juice in this. So I do about, I'd say a couple tablespoons worth in here just by squeezing it if I had to guess. And then I do use a little bit of lime juice as well just to add some flavor. Usually I would use a coleslaw mix, like a 3-color coleslaw mix. But I noticed that we go through shredded lettuce more just by doing tacos and stuff. So I did just get shredded lettuce this time instead of the tri-colored cabbage. So I'm gonna add in a little bit of that. And then try it out. If you want more lime or lemon juice, add more if you'd like, but that is how you make just a simple, easy Pico de Gallo. So now I'm gonna start heating my tortillas in our pan, and David's gonna cut up his jalapenos and we'll get ready to serve. That is all for tonight, and here's how they turned out. They're super good. I eat my Pico de Gallo like a salad. I know most people probably put it on top, but I like to eat it just like a salad. So David was already making fun of me. I do still need to cut up my avocado and put it on there, but so far so good. It looks delicious. Thank you for watching another episode of Cookin' Wild with Kels, and I hope to see you on the next one.